Hey guys, today I'm going to be doing my out-of-box review for the SD Senshi Gundam Barbatos Lupus DX. So yeah, out of all the different versions of the Barbatos that we've had in 1/100 scale, HD, and SD, this one, I gotta be honest, this kit really just kind of feels like the most pointless of them. Basically, as you may know, this kit they're looking at here, just the main mobile suit, the Gundam here in this case, is exactly the same kit that was the SDX standard kit. So that may be a little bit disappointing for some people who just really don't care for the quality of the SDX standard kits, with them being just a little bit different from what we normally get in the BB Senshi line. But, you know, on the plus side, this kit does come with a lot more stuff. So, I mean, if you really wanted an SD Gundam Barbatos Lupus, I think just getting the extender would be the best bet. But if there's other stuff that you want that comes with this kit that doesn't come with the extender kit, then I guess this would be the one for you. But the other stuff that you get with this kit, I don't know, it's not really that great, to be honest. I mean, it's nice to have more options, and we have plenty of options in this case. But, I mean, you have one Gundam and you have so many weapon options, you can only use, you know, a few at a time. What are you going to do with the rest of them? I don't know, it's just kind of one of those things. If you know what you're getting into with this kit, then you'll be pleased with it. It's fine. There's just going to be a lot of painting, a lot of masking and stuff, but that, again, has been the case with pretty much all of the SDX standard kits, and even though this is a BB Senshi kit, again, it's still just an SDX standard kit. So as for the Gundam itself, I'm not going to cover like where all the stickers are and all the articulation, all of that. If you want to see all about that, you can check out my review of the SDX standard kit. One thing I just want to point out is the eyes. This kit does come with a couple of different eye stickers. With the SDX standard kit, you only get those top ones, just the solid green eyes. This one you also get like standard, cute SD eyes, and then you get these like crazy eyes. Same thing that they did with the Gundam Barbatos 4th form that was released as an SDX standard kit and then as a DX kit. It's all the same there. Another thing to point out here on the sticker sheet is we also get some of these Tekadem marking stickers. It doesn't really, as far as I can find in the manual, I haven't been able to find anywhere where it actually tells you where those are supposed to go. I think those are, you're just free to put those wherever you want. Like basically, I think you might want to put like the big one on the front of the E30B and like this like medium sized one on the mobile worker, and then those two smaller ones maybe like on the side of the E30B or something. But let's get a look at the accessories, because that's really going to be the thing that sets this kit apart. So just going over the accessories that came with the original, with the regular SDX standard kit, we have the sword mace. Looks great on this side, hollow on this side. That's unfortunate. It does have like this handle here, but like the main handle is just there like that. Then we have the 200mm cannons, which can attach onto the back of the arm. And these came with the SDX standard kit, so nothing new there. But then we have a lot of new stuff. So as far as new weapons and accessories, we have these cannons. These are the rocket launchers for the arm. As you'll see on one side, they look good. On the other side, they're hollow. So luckily those are on opposite sides, so you could plug them on so that like the hollow sides are facing the inside, so you wouldn't really see them as much. But again, that is something that I know a lot of people really don't care for. So anyway, it's bad, but yeah, I mean, you can kind of hide that. Then we have the sword. So this new sword is pretty nice. This is probably one of my favorite weapons for this, just because there's no hollow spaces on it at all. It's just a nice, simple sword. And this is something that you could even use for an HG kit. So like if you got this kit and you didn't want to display the weapon, you could give this sword to a different HG kit. The handle might be a little bit small compared to an HG handle. I'd have to try it, but you should be able to make it work. Then we have the large railgun. Now this one, again, looks okay from this side, aside from this big attachment point there. But on this side, we have some hollow space here. And then from the top down, you can see it's super, super thin. So this is something that's supposed to be like a big, huge, bulking weapon. It looks like that from the side, but from any other angle, it just looks like this really super paper thin thing that just doesn't really look good. And then these attachment points, like those holes on the side of there, that's something you would expect for an SDX standard kit. But for a kit like this, that's just really unfortunate. So obviously, probably going to be better off taking the cannon or the rocket launcher off the back of the arm so we can hold this. It's supposed to be held under the hand like this, but it's kind of hard with the shape of that arm there. So you kind of have to like hold it at a little bit of an angle like that, and you can hold it in the hand like so. So it can hold it okay. Not that great of a weapon though. The HD version is much, much better. Then we have the twin maces, and these again look great from one side, hollow gaps on the other side, and these attachment points again here. This is something you'd expect for an SD extender kit, but for just a regular BB Senshi kit, the thing of BB Senshi kits is not supposed to be like, oh, you can attach the weapons onto other weapons and make some like super weapons. That's an SD extender gimmick that I feel like these weapons would look a lot better if they didn't try to pack in that gimmick to these as well. The reason that these new weapons also have those new attachment points is because you can attach all the weapons onto the Isaribi. So here is the ship. Now, as I was disappointed to find out in the unboxing, it's just all molded in one color. And so here's what I was saying. I think you could probably stick like the Tekkaden logo, like at least one of the big ones, like here on the front or here on the top. I can't remember where it is on the show. I think maybe on the top, but yeah, it's just all one color. And it's supposed to be, let me show you the manual here. It's supposed to be maroon and gray, and it's this color. So I think if they would have just made the runner all maroon, at least that would have been a little bit better. But I mean, it's got a lot of detail in there, kind of. Obviously the bottom is going to be very hollow, ugly there, but one thing you can do with that is you can plug this onto an action base and have it like flying next to the Barbatos or something like that if you had an action base, or especially if you had like one of those action stands that has like 3 arms on it. It would be cool to have like the Gundam and the Isaribi like flying along next to it or something. So there's that, and then there's also the Tekkaden mobile worker. So the Tekkaden mobile worker is here. Like this. It's going to be looking very similar to the one that came in the option set. So here's that. This is the one that came with the HG option set 5, I believe this was. So you can see the option set one is actually smaller. It's 1/144 scale, and this SD scale one is actually a little bit larger. And one thing where the SD version is actually better, in the option set version, the inside of these rifles, if you can see that, the inside of like the cannons or rifles like on the side of there are hollow. On the SD version, actually, they're not hollow. They're hollow underneath. And that's all hollow underneath there. But the sides and the top and everything looks okay. Hollow space there in the back too, of course. But I don't know, it has the same articulation there, just twists there, just the top and bottom half. So that's pretty much it for all of the new stuff. Just so as I said, all of the weapons and stuff can be attached onto the Isaribi, so I just want to show that to you now quickly. So first up, the 200mm cannons will attach onto this side, like this, and then the large railgun attaches onto the side of there, and then the rocket launchers attach onto the top right here and here, and then the twin maces will attach onto the bottom here, pointing forward like that. The sword you stick right in the center, so that's just pointing forward like that. I guess that seems to be all the farther it goes in there, just a little bit like that. And then the sword mace you stick off the back, actually going out the back like that. So that looks kind of silly to have the ugly side of the sword mace showing there, but that is what this thing is going to look like when you have all the weapons and stuff attached onto it. So it definitely gives it like a kind of cool, interesting look when it's got all this weapons and stuff attached onto it. It looks kind of interesting like that, but you know, yeah. So despite this kit overall and its weapons having a lot of hollow spaces and kind of unsightly features with the pegs and stuff like that all on the weapons, like I said, you can still do some cool stuff with it. I mean, you just have to be able to ignore those things, or you know, if you're really up for it, you know, just do the work and get rid of those things, fill in the hollow spaces, cut off those pegs, and just fix all that stuff. Fixing it up, you could have a really, really nice SD kit here, or, you know, like I said, if you're just willing to ignore that, if that really doesn't matter too much to you, I think it's still a nice kit. It still has a good look. The Barbatos does look really good in SD form. And I think just the actual molding and the details and like the shape and proportions of everything does look good. again, you just have to know what you're getting yourself into. One thing that I did also want to point out here is that you can also attach some weapons and stuff onto the backpack as well. The backpack has 4 male pegs where you can attach some stuff onto there if you want. I feel like the attachment points on the sides probably going to be hard to get much of anything on there just because it's too close to the big shoulders and all of that. But attaching stuff straight onto the backpack isn't really a problem in this case. Another thing I did want to point out is with the mobile worker, you can also attach stuff onto the sides of its guns. So those don't move at all, unfortunately, they're just molded there. But you can see I've added the 200mm cannons onto the side of there, and it gives it a kind of cool look. Again, it's a bunch of hollow space there, you could fill that in or something if you want. But this does have the attachment points there on the side, you can attach stuff onto there. It also does have this attachment point there on the top as well. If you wanted to maybe attach something onto there, something like that, you can do that. So that's kind of cool. So that's going to pretty much do it for my review of the SD BB Senshi Gundam Barbatos Lupus DX. One more little negative thing I just wanted to point out is that with all the different connection points pretty much on everything, one connection point that this kit doesn't have is a connection point underneath the mobile worker for you to attach the mobile worker onto an action base. So that's kind of disappointing. Wouldn't really be the most difficult thing to mod. I mean, you just need to drill a hole somewhere in the bottom of that, or just, you know, fill in some epoxy putty, then drill a hole into that. I think would probably be the best bet. But yeah, so there's no hole for mounting the mobile worker onto a base, unfortunately. But, you know, another important thing to remember with these kits is that pretty much all of the, I mean, hence the name X Standard, all the X Standard kits all share the same connection point size. So there's a whole lot of mixing and matching that you can do. I mean, with the other Barbatos, the XD, X Standard Gundam Barbatos 4th form, you can mix and match weapons with that if you wanted to give some weapons from that kit to this kit, or vice versa, or from any other kit as well. If you wanted to put like the Death Scythe Hell backpack onto the Barbatos, you could do that. So there's a lot of cool mixing and matching that you can do with that. You might actually see me doing some of that pretty soon. I've been thinking about what I can do with some of these petite guys that I've been collecting over the months as Bandai keeps releasing them, and I've been thinking about doing some mashups with some parts of SDX standard kits on some petite guys. So you may be seeing that sometime soon when I need to take a break from some of the larger projects that I'm working on. But in the meantime, thank you guys so much for watching this review. Hopefully this was helpful or insightful for any of you who may be interested in getting this. If you do have any other questions or comments, as always, leave those down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.